Today we're talking about trust in the workplace. The definition I like to use for trust in the workplace comes from a book called The Trusted Advisor, and it's something that they call the trust equation. It has 4 components. The first component is credibility, which means the expertise you bring to the conversation. Reliability is the second component, and that's simply, do you do what you say you're going to do? The third part is professional intimacy, which is how well do you know the other party? And the fourth part is self-orientation, which is simply, do you have your best interest at heart or the other person's best interest at heart? The part we're going to talk about today is professional intimacy. You've got to know the people on your team and the person that you're trying to build trust with. Several years ago, I had a client, and we were having a conversation about this very topic, and he paused me and said, "You mean I need to know the names of everybody in my department?" After I picked up my chin off the floor, I said, "Yeah, and you need to know a lot more about them than just their names." 2 weeks later, he came to me and was so excited because he had decided to try to get to know the people on his team. And he immediately told me the story about one of his coworkers who, when he stopped by her desk and asked her how she was doing, started crying. And she went on to tell him that she had planned on giving her resignation that day because she didn't think that anybody in the office cared about her. And she wasn't going to resign now because he stopped by and asked how she was doing. He was so excited that he was a firm believer in building professional intimacy from there on forward and really changed the way his whole department worked. This is the key part of trust that I see people push back on the most. They don't want to spend the time that it takes to create this intimacy. You've got to put in the time in order to build trust with the people that you work with. Several people have reached out and asked me about the video that I teased you with last time about my son getting ready to hit a golf ball out of a tee on my mouth. I would never put my son in that situation because in the trust equation, that would be considered high self-orientation to put him in a really dangerous position just so I could get a great video clip. So I would never do that to the trust that I have with my son. See you next time on Driving Happiness at Work.